I just want to present this before we do anything, because that is craftsmanship at my absolute best. Took me over an hour to do that.
Well with that one.
It took me about 45 minutes just to do the background alone before I even started editing. But hello, everybody. Welcome to the weekly Steelchair for your all-in review show. And a whole lot more, I might add, is coming. If you haven't checked out the community posts, please check them out. There's a couple of YouTube shorts. Check out the community post as well, because we have a new channel to plug as well. That's not mine. So we'll be doing that as well. But before we get that...
I'm doing the thing, people. I'm doing the thing, but we'll get there.
She's on camera to prove it. So, co-host,
we're chatting all in. Doing all right. As I've mentioned a couple times,
it's my thumbnail. I'm allowed to fucking boost my ego.
I've mentioned a couple times that I've been doing TikTok for a few weeks, and I was like, well, TikTok's cool, but like you put the thing up, it's like a minute tops, and it's cool, and following's growing there, and I was like, okay, where can that go?
I'm coming onto TikTok for the Steelchair. I'm coming onto TikTok for the Steelchair.
I've started a YouTube channel. There's 2 videos and a short up right now. We've got some FC24. We have an episode of that. Not sure if there's going to be more FC24 because it was very broken. And today when I tried to stream it again, it was very broken. But I have downloaded.
Tell them about your red. Tell them about your red card glitch.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. There's a video with 533 views on it at the moment on YouTube. Nice. So you think we'll get some subscribers out of it? Let's see. But it's called Weirdest Red Card Ever, or Weirdest Red Card Glitch, Weirdest Glitch Ever, something along those lines. You'll find it on the channel. And it's madness. The whole episode with that glitch in it is up. It's a 40-minute video. So, if you haven't had enough of hearing me talk at the end of this, 40 minutes of that's up. And today's new video for the new series, for the thing that I'm probably going to focus on first, is it's up. It's Pokemon Emerald with a
rightfully so,
with a nostalgic sort of return because it was the second Pokemon game that I played after Pokemon Diamond, which I can't get working on the laptop.
I can help with that.
But yeah, I'll solve that. But yeah. So Pokemon Emerald Let's Play Episode 1 is up. It's up as of, I think, about half an hour ago. It's been one of those days just troubleshooting and getting different things. But that's going to happen when we're just kicking this thing off. And hopefully, we're doing some stuff and we'll see if it goes somewhere. But in any case, that I'm not going anywhere as far as the Steelchair. We're here to stay, we're doing it. And we're here to talk about All In. Now, a lot of people...
Hold on, before you even speak. It's on the screen.
Yeah.
Just for people who can see, I am obviously her top video. Just kidding.
Your
obviously, my ego is beautiful. No, this was just
James, good evening, James.
Exactly.
Good evening, Billy.
Billy as well. Yep, Catherine, no, we do not accept that on this channel. Absolutely will never say those 2 words. Fuck Liverpool is more appropriate, thank you very much. But James, good to see you, my man. Billy, absolutely good to see you. I will check that in a minute. Nathan as well. So that is Eilidh's channel. I'm not sending my laptop because the laptop was previously linked to the last YouTube account, which obviously New Japan destroyed. So I can't sign in on it at all. So that's why it shows as no sign in or subscribe. I am subscribed through the Steelchair on my phone.
Yeah, don't worry. You're not getting called out for anything. But no, guys,
nobody's going to comment on it anyway.
Yeah, if you do somehow actually like hearing me talk, this is where I'm going to be doing it more often. If you just like seeing my face, though,
I'm glad you're on screen. I'm glad you're on screen, but this is Eilidh's channel.
You really enjoy seeing my face and you enjoy seeing all the weird stuff that I do with my face, you can go and watch TikTok where I put my makeup videos up. Pretty much every day that I've put makeup on, I've done a video for it. So that's where most of my content is right now. But we're aiming to get
I'll drop that for a minute. Absolutely. I'll drop that for a minute because before we even just review the show and the card itself.
Yep.
Obviously, you're fairly outspoken in a positive way. Your own opinions. You have been skeptical of AEW for a couple of years. Again, that's creative reasons. You've said that consistently. You give your valid points. It's not simply because you prefer WWE to AEW. You actually watched AEW from the beginning because, again, you've watched New Japan. You like a lot of what's from New Japan as well. So you give a good variety. You at least give context behind your reasons.
Yeah,
Obviously, the All In preview show.
New Japan now because they lost all their stars because of AEW.
The good thing is they are reforming again. But what was get to my point is at least coming into the show, at least you gave a fair comparison of why you didn't. Well, again, you weren't particularly happy about how All In was going to look. You gave some fair comments, which I don't think is wrong in any shape or form. Those were your initial thoughts. Before we review the card, though, main card only, because fuck the pre-show, because the pre-show means fuck all anyway. But from the main card as well, did any of the comments that you made initially, were any of them changed throughout the night? Does anything actually impress you? And did anything actually change your context? But maybe there is still a hope in your sense.
Do you want that answer now?
I'm asking it now.
Or shall we go through the card and see?
We'll still go through the card, but I always want to get that preliminary
so if
thought.
You want that answer right now?
Yeah, I just want to see if anything did change subjectively.
Okay, so All In 2024 is probably the best AEW pay-per-view that there's been for at least 2 years. It was the least embarrassing, least offensive show that they've possibly ever done.
Okay.
I finished watching it and I thought, oh, that was a wrestling show. That was wrestling. That was a card where I could buy most of it. There were things I didn't like, obviously.
I've got a few myself.
When you look at the overall package and everything that we got, I feel like if I came into this show and just said, nah, that was crap, nah, it was rubbish, nah, not having that, I'd be doing it a disservice. I'd be doing the talent that were on that show a disservice as well, because genuinely, I thought it was a good show. I really did.
And I'm not going to take any. I'm not going to take any of this. All what it says on the preview show. My exact words to everybody. Nathan doesn't even watch AEW, by the way, and he messaged me on Sunday night, Monday morning, something like that. He messaged me saying, "Should I get into AEW now?" And I was like, because I haven't, I'm just not much of into it. I'm more WWE guy. Should I get into it based on All In? Because I thought All In was incredible. And I was like, the exact words I said to you on the pre-show is just for All In, because I know what you're like, and that's completely fair. I said, just give it a chance. Yeah. That's all I said, just give it a chance. And
I don't watch the weekly AEW. I keep up with it through my favourite podcast, who I won't shout out here. But I keep up with it through my favourite podcast.
Which is fair.
Wrestling podcast, I should say. But yeah, so that's how I track all the storylines and know what's going on, or know at least 80% of what's going on.
Which is completely fine.
But I watch every pay-per-view, and I watch every premium live event. No, they still call them pay-per-views. So I have followed AEW still the entire time.
What's up, Doug? Good to see you, my man. Check out the Dugout Football channel on YouTube as well, guys. If you're a football fan specifically, Doug does football content, including international tournaments.
Nice. Good stuff.
And he's also Scottish too. Unfortunately, he supports Liverpool, but he is Scottish.
There's worse than a Liverpool fan.
Yeah, Chelsea, Tottenham, City. Yeah. Well, to you, yeah. To Leeds.
But so I feel like a lot of what they did on this show wasn't offensive. And I feel like when they did do the offensive stuff, it's almost like the shock factor's worn off. Yeah. It's almost like I can't really... But even if we take this compared to like earlier cards in the year or stuff from last year, like Adam Copeland needlessly breaking his own leg, like that's ridiculous. That's the sort of thing that's going to give you just like a rubbish overall show, because why do that? You know, nothing like that is standing out.
And I think that's fair to say. I think that's very fair to say.
Yeah. So, I mean, do you have any like overall card comments before we get on to?
There are a few. There is one match in particular that I was annoyed about, but it wasn't about the match. Funnily enough, it was the entrance, and I think a lot of people will actually potentially will agree with me based on a heat factor. If you remember one particular entrance from the show, you'll probably guess what match I'm talking about. But apart from that, I thought the match flow went really well. Although I think they got a little bit of order wrong, though. I don't think the Mercedes Moné versus Britt Baker match was terrible. I know I've seen a few of her comments about like audience fatigue, and to be fair, on any big card, to be fair, there is going to be a sense of fatigue. But the card was dead silent for that match, but that's because the match in particular, I'm not going to spoil it now, but you can pretty much guess what match I'm talking about, had the crowd on nutshells from the off. And I think it didn't help that the crowd was silent for that one. Even if they got whatever they wanted to do involved in the match, it really was died down.
Everything you're talking about, like, but the crowd were silent for that match.
They tried though.
So my turn to do a little bit of I told you so. We were talking about Mercedes Moné on the preview, and about how the fans don't react to her.
Yeah, I also don't entirely think it was her as well. I think there's elements to it about her, 100%. But I also think there's elements about Britt Baker, and I didn't like her performance. I think the card would have been a whole lot better if they were earlier. And I think Mariah May versus Toni Storm later actually would have got a better reaction regardless, because that was the more interesting women's match anyway. And the build going into the show actually made sense. And I like what they've done since. I like that at least. I just think if I'd gone earlier, we may have got a different reaction for the Moné versus Baker match. But either way, they were still overshadowed by another excellent women's match, and they were overshadowed by a moment that happened at the very end of the pre-show that was even more entertaining. So that's all I've got really to say on that. But apart from that, I generally thought it's probably the best wrestling experience I've actually went to. It's better than last year's. It's right up there with, I'll be honest, it's right up there with Clash from 2021, because I really enjoyed the atmosphere at Clash from a couple of years ago. I like that element. I think All In this year has completely surpassed any other that I've seen.
Before in terms of that, jump in, I think Clash was 2022.
Sorry, 22. Yes, sorry. Yeah, 2022.
Just before, because, you know.
Yeah, sorry. 2022. My apologies. Yeah. I think just in general, and this is not like, I'm picking one over the other. I mean, I've went to really good TNA crowds, and that was really good. I've been to WWE crowds that are living, breathing electricity. But I just thought this whole experience was just... Last year was about just getting all the dream matches that they had aimed for and just get it on the card.
Last year was about, like,
trying to set records and have fun. This year it was about...
Also, last year was so overshadowed by everything. You know, the problem is, so last year, Tony Khan came into London claiming he had a 12-inch dick. This isn't my analogy. This is from someone else, but I find it too good not to share
fair comment, Billy.
Tony came into London last year saying he had a 12-inch dick. And his dick was actually like 9 inches, which is still like impressive. But when you've said that you've got 12 and you've only got 9, you know, this year he's not done that.
He's came in this year to prove a point.
London knowing what he had, and it's delivered. You know,
Catherine, for fuck's sake, it's Friday, it's not zesty time. Jesus Christ. I was trying
to think of another way to do it without mentioning penises, but I just couldn't.
To be fair, when you think about it, and in the elements of it, last year he came in trying to claim big dick energy.
Yes,
it was actually small dick energy. This year he came in with just, I'm here to just do business.
Yeah,
and actually,
he was like, we've got a great show. and he actually had a great show. Last year, he was like, I'm going to break the attendance record at Wembley. I'm going to have this, that, and the next thing. It's going to get us this massive TV deal. And that's still up in the air. We know it is. But this year, he was just like, we're doing the London show. Let's make it great. And there you go, you know? But anyway, I think we should probably jump in.
We are ready to go. Yeah. So also, guys, some great comments. Yeah, great comments, guys. Get your questions in. Any you've got, we will start them. We will
get this back and forth going.
Absolutely, and we will come to any questions you guys have got throughout the show. I just like the fact that we're all just like one thing we always value in here is just honesty and truth. Like, we're not going to take the piss, you know what I mean?
Any
we're just
you're going to leave, though. I will say, if you leave a comment about a particular match and it's later down the card, Reece will star it.
We'll get to
come back. So don't worry, we're not going to miss your comment. If you comment now about Hook and Jericho, we'll get to it for Hook and Jericho. But if you want to avoid sort of, oh no, they missed our comment, just comment on what we're talking about. And that way your comments will be more real time with what we're saying. But yeah, I think
I don't generally miss it as well. You know what I mean? Like, I do get straight in the comments. Like, there's one good thing I pride on is like I don't want to miss anything. I think that's very fair to say. I'm still about the match-based storyline, but I do like the fact they've at least included more segment-based storylines, and I like a balance of both. As long as it fits to me, then I'll enjoy it. So I don't disagree in that way. I think that's fair.
Yeah, so we'll jump in on match number 1. And
the ladder match. This is what I thought would open the card as well.
Yeah, I mean, it worked because they worked it very cleverly.
I think they based on 3 people.
Yeah, well, they decided not to do too much. Weird.
Absolutely.
12-man ladder match, but when you look at, I think if this was AEW in 2021, they would have killed the crowd with this match. Not for it being bad, but for it being so chaotic. They would have brought but this is what I'm saying, Catherine. They would have brought the glass out. They would have brought the fire out. They would have brought everything out. It would have been a 12-man ladder match, bodies splaying everywhere.
Yeah.
And the crowd would then have another 9 matches. I thought they worked this really cleverly. It was under 20 minutes. It felt like it was under 20 minutes. It didn't feel like it dragged. It was really quick, especially for, I'll remind you, 12-man ladder match.
I also think as well what was key, and I think this is hands down really well, you can tell that they utilised the brilliance and experience of Christian Cage, but they allowed 3 people in particular to run with it. For me, it was the 2 Gunn lads, and Pac were the 3 outstanding performers, and I think Christian clearly booked this behind the scenes. I think they went with Christian in terms of he's going to organise the whole thing, but Christian's like, no, I'm going to give it to you guys because you're more athletic than I am at the moment. Like, yes, at the moment, but just in general, you're more athletic. You can carry it. I can do what I need to do, and I can still get you over with the crowd. And I think Christian got those 3 over tremendously at All In. So I think Christian as a whole in general deserves the praise. But for me, the Gunn boys and the Gunn brothers, and Pac deserve an outstanding credit for their performance at All In.
Yeah, I thought Pac was really good. I mean, he really fed off getting to do something at Wembley, getting to win at Wembley, getting to be the one that sort of gets the moment. It's always made sense to have Pac with Blackpool Combat Club. I mean, he's literally the only person who could claim he's from close enough to Blackpool.
Literally.
And it's better than Pac having to pretend that his best friends are 2 Mexicans, which always just seems a bit random. That this connection seems to fit better, especially when you look at Pac and his whole thing is about, I'm going to kill you. That's kind of Blackpool Combat Club's whole thing.
Absolutely. So, I think that's a fair comment by Catherine as well, saying she's down for chaos. But for me, absolutely, a ladder match should have chaos, but a ladder match has also got to have a talent working in the sense of they need to display more than just destruction.
It's got to know its place. If you think about ladder matches that have opened WrestleMania in years gone by, or one of the greatest ladder matches of all time, the New Orleans North American Championship ladder match. That match was chaotic, but it was on a 5-match card.
So yeah, time and room to grow. I also think even like the Shawn Michaels matches versus Razor Ramon fit well as well. Like they've actually accommodated timing, but they also accommodated growth and a talent to experiment. Get some great comments in about Pac as well. Actually, one obviously Billy's just taking
Newcastle as Blackpool. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, you got to.
But it's still a fact. It's still a fact.
If you compare it, I mean, Claudio's from Switzerland, Moxley's from Cincinnati, and I don't know where Wheeler Yuta's from.
Wheeler Yuta, is he not?
I'm gonna guess Florida.
I thought he was Texan.
I'm guessing Florida. We've got investigative Googling here. He's from Philly.
Wheeler Yuta. Yeah, aye, Philly.
Oh,
was mad.
ECW country.
You know he's only 28 in October. I thought he was older, just because he's so. I don't, in terms of like young, yeah, but I thought he was like, I didn't realize he was that age already. You know what I mean? But still, I agree. Like Catherine obviously agrees with you as well about Pac fitting BC better. It kind of fit well when we said about how they followed up to obviously Dynamite the Wednesday. I like the fact that the first thing they did was the first thing you see from Pac is he's sick of people getting ahead of him when it comes to the international title. He's got a title shot for a reason, and yet people are just trying to get ahead of him, so he just comes out and inverted Frankensteiner as Will Ospreay and turns heel. I'm like, good for Pac. I think Pac's an amazing heel.
I think we can come on to later on where I think the problem with that is.
There is a little bit of a problem.
As far as this match itself, it knew its place. It knew it was the opener.
Absolutely.
A ladder match doesn't have to do much to get the crowd out their seats. And as I was saying, if it's on a 10-match card, it's got to get in and get out.
Yeah. Without a shadow of a doubt.
You know, you would say that the WrestleMania tag match this year was quite tame, but it was still an enjoyable watch. And that also had 12 men in it. It was just 6 duos, not 4 trios. But it was quite quick. I mean, I think that match was also sub 20 minutes.
So something like that, yeah.
I
like the creativity.
If you can open a large card with a ladder match or a long card with a ladder match, it's got to get in and get out. New Orleans is such a good, chaotic ladder match, but again, it was on a 5-match card. I remind you, on that card as well, the NXT title changes hands. It's not the main event.
That's very true.
So they bookend the show with a ladder match and then the blood feud that everyone's been waiting for. And the NXT title just kind of has to
accommodate.
You know?
Yeah.
It was essentially, because it was basically a squash for Aleister Black.
Yes. Hello, pal. How are you doing? Hope you're doing good. Should be here cause chaos in a minute, but hold on before. I got to accommodate the people before we move on. So there you go. Every time she's here, every time she drops a comment, she says hello. She's going to get Joe Hendry.
But you didn't say, okay. Well, now you've said his name, but you did it the opposite way.
But I got to do things my way.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fair play,
match where I did genuinely have a problem with it. Because, I mean, I said on the preview that I didn't know what I was thinking about this match. I don't like Mariah May. I don't think she's very good. Oh, God. Right. I thought the strike exchanges looked absolutely horrible. Like, when they were doing the hockey fight, they looked like 2 drunk pensioners at the bingo. Just, like, they were swinging like that. Like,
it was a lot of overhand stuff.
It looked horrible. And the other thing as well, and I've asked two biological women this question. I asked my fiance downstairs before we came on the show, just so I would get like a freshened up answer.
Okay.
There's a moment in this match where the referee goes down and they do a double low blow spot.
Oh, yeah, that was weird.
Now, I asked my fiance just there, and funnily enough, I asked Greg's fiance first. We were both in the room.
Smart move.
Would that hurt more? Now, Greg's fiance's answer was, it would hurt more than a kick in other places, but it wouldn't incapacitate you.
It would definitely hurt. Not being biased, but it would hurt me more. But I would be interested.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. They say that it would hurt more than being kicked in other places, but it wouldn't hurt to like a debilitating level. And when I asked my fiance downstairs, she was like, it would hurt almost like just a little more than being kicked anywhere else.
I said something in the stadium beside some guys I were sitting beside, and it was just spur at the moment, but I just said from one cunt punt to the next.
Well, yeah,
that's exactly what I said. I was like, as soon as the referee went down, I was like, we're gonna get a low blow of some sorts, aren't we? And then here comes the cunt punt. I was like, Jesus Christ. But I was like, hang on, did she sell that? Or did she just go and hit another one? I'm like, to be fair, I think it really caught me off guard. I didn't think, I do agree, I'm glad they at least got time, but I found that part to be a little bit unnecessary. I would have preferred in that moment, instead of going for the low blow, I would have preferred if Mariah May just clocked her with the heel of the shoe.
Yeah, just use the shoe. Use the thing that's in there,
Yeah, I don't know about you, but even in other companies, I'm sick of it in TNA and I'm sick of it in WWE. And also, to be fair, at times New Japan.
What's the thing Luther carries? Is it like a pick?
Yeah.
Yeah, so use that.
I agree. I'm getting a little bit sick and tired of low blow moments. Like the low blow has been around for years.
Low blows from the Brock Lesnar title reign.
Yeah, like low blows have been around they've been around for years, so I can't really say much. They have been around for years, but they are so heavily common now than they were 10 years ago.
There's an over-reliance on low blows. I didn't that Drew McIntyre versus CM Punk had to end with a low blow. I feel like there could have been something else there.
Yeah, I would have preferred something a little bit more. Like, I would have preferred if you went and deliberately choked him out. You know what I mean? Like an out-of-control choke where he's actually physically had to call for disqualification or something, or he's just counted a pin because he's out cold. But
it would be so much more Drew McIntyre to just like gouge the eyes.
Yeah, 100%. You can't see the truth, so I'll make you see it.
Yeah. We only see an eye gouge spot now when it's either like an arrogant heel or it's someone getting out of a submission hold.
Or it's just a random moment in the corner.
Oh, the ref goes down. Like, and I get it. It works, but we're seeing them in every company all the time.
It is so... It's a you know what's even worse? What's even worse? The low blow spot. The low blow spot, fucking hell. The low blow spot, weirdly enough, has actually become more of a problem than a steel chair finish. Like, it's so much more overdone than a steel chair being used. And I think that's kind of to me anyway, as a fan, I find that quite offensive. Like, not because this podcast is called the Weekly Steel Chair, but it's offensive that a steel chair has more impact than a low blow in that sense. But a low blow it's so overdone, it's becoming a cliche, and I feel sorry for any of the talent they've got to go, oh, by the way, your match has got to include a low blow. I'd be like, no, give me something else.
No, I'm with you. It's like it's such an overused.
Fuck's sake!
I just
like, I don't know how that happened. That's a long week of being a problem. But
I think other than that, this match I thought it sucked. Quite frankly, I thought this match was terrible. Not terrible enough to ruin the whole night. But as a match, I was worried about the show at this point.
And I think that's fair.
Yeah. I was worried.
The low blow area particularly, I was getting a little bit perplexed by it. I don't think it was necessary. I think it took a lot away from Mariah May's appeal, although I did at least enjoy the fact that she was able
much for herself in this match.
I am still glad at least that she managed to keep up with Toni Storm. I like that Toni Storm at least displayed a lot of veteran instincts in this one, and you could tell that she was leading the match. But
another quick point before we move on: can the commentators? There we go. Yeah, even an eye rake do that. You know, do something different. The ref doesn't only DQ you for a low blow. There's other things.
It's what I like about it's that I agree on this. This was a shock to me when she actually slapped her own mum. Like,
I didn't get it.
That was her. It's because she's so obsessed with beating Toni Storm, and she's like, everybody's against her. So like, she's seen her mum, who's there to support her. She's like, well, you're clearly not on my side. And just slapped the piss out of her. I like that at least.
Not for me, Buckaroo. I thought which is fair. I thought it was really like it was the wrong side of soap opera camp. And the other so can the commentators decide who they like, please? For this match, could the commentators decide who they like?
Well, we know who Nigel likes.
You probably haven't gone back and watched it. The commentary were horrible here because
who was on comms at this point? Who was on comms actually?
It was.
I'm assuming.
I think it was McGuinness.
I know he was on it because Mariah May applied a kiss on him, and there's a lot of funny memes been going around that, funnily enough, which I'll bring on later on.
I think it was Schiavone as well.
Well, he can never make his mind up, to be fair.
No, but that's it. Because one minute they'd be like, "Oh, and this is sickening from Mariah May," and you know, Toni Storm's this and that. And you're like, okay, it's clearly a face commentator. And then the next thing was like the angel in Baby Blue. It's like, you wouldn't call her an angel. Yeah, it was. It was Nigel, Excalibur, and Schiavone.
Cheers,
Nigel
Catherine.
was the only one who was consistent, and then even he switched because Nigel's whole thing was like Mariah May wants to beat Toni Storm, and then Toni Storm would do something that's like she's amazing. It's decide for the love of God, decide. One of you can do one of you can do the other. One of you can be in the middle doing play-by-play. Don't fucking switching. It's very annoying.
There is one particular moment in this match though that I really did enjoy, and I just want to get your opinion of it.
Go then.
I really like the Storm Zero pile driver on the steel steps.
Oh, it was brutal.
I absolutely loved that moment. That for me was the best moment of the entire match. Because let alone the fact
do all this stuff for the steps. Are we led to believe, because this was another horrible call on commentary, why are we led to believe when someone's being slammed like that and their hands are moving like 5 inches in front of where their head is? There you go. I thought, yes.
Taz is a great commentator, to be fair, and I think Taz and Nigel would actually go well together. I think so. There's the underlying problem.
If you did Nigel McGuinness and Taz, I don't know, you could take Caprice or you could take Ian Riccaboni.
I'd say Riccaboni.
Knows their stuff. I know some people like Excalibur. I hate him.
I'm like that with him. I prefer Schiavone because I liked him in WCW, and to be fair, he was a good lead back then. But for me, I would prefer Taz, Nige, and I would prefer Riccaboni, as you mentioned. And I would like Schiavone just doing interviews. I like Schiavone's in-ring interviews. They're actually quite good.
Fine as an interviewer, but as a commentator, every match. Oh, good call. Like, I know it was a good call.
There's some elements.
Calls. You're actually more useless on this commentary team than Byron Saxton was to the 3-man Raw booth.
Or also I have to get the agenda.
Graves and Saxton, and all Saxton was there for was to get bullied by Graves.
And he's terrible as well. He's terrible too. So I have to get
weird, I think it was redacted leading this, but do you not remember? Like there were weird friendship. Like Byron Saxton was like weirdly close to the New Day.
Yeah, and
they never.
just
It was
think
like they wouldn't say the quiet part out loud.
Yeah, he really wanted to keep it to himself. And
Yeah,
you're like,
but
we know what
Corey
you're
Graves
thinking,
like,
mate.
oh, it's your friends, and you're like, oh. Again, I don't think it's Corey Graves doing that. I think the redacted higher power was probably leading that one.
We'll say his name since he's getting an undeserved documentary, but yeah, that was definitely Vince trying to say. I wanted to be borderline racist here. I wanted to say it's your friends, but that's not exactly what I want you to think.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. So anyway,
proper horrible.
I think we've brought this match down enough at this point.
Did the pile driver at least save some of the match for you? For me, it did. For me, that saved the match from being a disaster.
I think to an extent, yes. I probably would have done it later and had the match end with a stoppage.
That would have been good.
Because I think it's a brutal enough move to stop a match. As I was saying though, when they go out to the steps and they're doing this, and her hands are like a good, like it's about a foot in front of her head, and she's getting lifted and dropped, but her hands keep slamming, and her head isn't even really moving with it. And then commentary is like, "Oh, her head's being slammed off." No, it's not. I can see that it's not her head.
You know what's coming. I'm actually going to give you the lead on the next one because I didn't even watch it. I'm not joking. All I saw was the entrances because I went to buy a hoodie and a scarf. So I actually did not see this one. So I came back to seeing Hook submit Jericho, but I saw nothing.
0.5 of a right answer here. Because if you remember on the pre-show, I said that I saw Taj choking Chris Jericho out.
Yeah, I said he would tap out Big Bill.
Yeah, so we were both half right because it was Bryan Keith that got tapped out. Got choked out. Hook choked Jericho out. The match was fun as a cricket fan. It was nice to see cricket balls in a wrestling ring. I will say that moment where Hook's got the cricket bat and he volleys one up and drives it at Jericho. Do you know how much that hurts? Right? I've been hit with a cricket ball off a bat in a match. Well, the ball was hit like flat. And the thing is, when you're fielding, you've got to either stop it, you've got to catch it ideally, but at very least stop it from getting your runs. And this was saying like 9 years ago for me now. It hit me there.
Oh.
Now,
when did?
Yeah, well, no, that was the thing. Like, I got back up and they're like, "You okay?" And like, it stung for like an hour because what a cricket ball is, right? Some people are like, "Oh, isn't it just like like foam or something?" A cricket ball is a wooden block wrapped in leather.
So it's worse than a classic leather football, then.
Yeah. They are hard. Man. They are hard.
I'm lucky I've never been hit by one.
Then he was just overhand throwing them, and one of them like slaps Jericho's thigh. Those bruises should be there for weeks.
Ouch.
What the fuck? I'll tell you. AEW has happened for better and for worse. Chris Jericho. Sorry, that's if that noise came through, that's just him saying, "Hey, you should probably charge your laptop." Cool. My tip in Spanish purely on he's winding down his career, isn't he? He's doing what he can to put Hook over, and I don't have much more to say. I mean, Jericho took some punishment, and then him and his heels, attacked Hook back. And I was wondering who was coming down to help Hook, but it was just Taz. Hook fought the rest of them off, and then it was Taz. You are muted, friend.
So I am. I hit the wrong button. I pressed Control D, not Control E. Funnily enough, I agree with Jericho. The weird thing about Jericho is Jericho can do absolutely anything. He doesn't seem to fail, but he really does need to call it down. I do stand by. He should just make the learning tree a stable and just become a manager, because I think he'd be interested in that, or a full-time commentator. I said that on the preview show. I still stand by it. I liked in a way as well for the entrance for Hook that they kind of gave away. They kind of gave away, but didn't give away that Taz was going to get involved, because they did the old Taz kind of opening for the theme song before it switched to Hooks, and I did like that. I was like, yeah, he's going to get involved.
I thought it was weird though, because like Taz's intros for a very different type of song.
Yeah, it's even better song.
Yeah, so Hook's theme changed like 4 times before he came out. I was like, oh, all right.
Like what are they giving him now? What is the aim? What is the intent?
Yeah,
just gonna scroll down so we can move that out of the way.
What could be next for Hook? Maybe drop this and go win something that's real.
Well, from what we can see from Dynamite, is the individuals challenge them now is, well, Roderick Strong wants him. I want Hook to go. I want Hook to go and win something seriously as well.
Roderick
I want
Strong just went and about killed Dalton Castle. So if he's going to have a no rules match,
FTW seems to apply. It was impressive. This one, I'll admit, I was quite worried how it was going to come out, because again, it's got fuck the Acclaimed in this one. But I actually did not hate this tag match. The only thing for me that was a little bit thing was it did feel a little bit longer than 12 minutes inside the stadium, like watching it. But I actually don't think it was bad. I actually think it was okay. What did you think of the triple threat tag match?
I would have preferred it to just be FTR versus the Acclaimed, because they did.
I think that's fair.
I think that's fair. Honestly, when the Bucks got in the ring in this match, and it might be their point because they're the EVPs now, and we get the heat. You've got to be careful when you are a heel and your whole thing is I don't work properly now, because the Young Bucks seem to have gone a little bit Baron Corbin with it. In the fact that we know that the Young Bucks are capable of more, Baron Corbin is capable of more. But he was told to do 4-minute rest holds.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
And, because of that, his matches became a lot worse. When suddenly Baron Corbin was allowed to do stuff again on NXT, you were like, oh yeah, Baron Corbin. Oh, he's good. He can actually work. It's the same thing here. The Bucks right now are sort of controlling themselves so that they don't work. And I get it, because that way you're not going to get cheered.
Yeah.
But that tells me they don't know how to be heels. Because you can be a heel and still work. There'll be people on this card that prove that. Some
massively
than others. But the Young Bucks,
some we're getting to, especially very shortly as well.
Out of this match. And I think if you gave it 12 minutes and it was just the Acclaim versus FTR, it would have genuinely been a fantastic tag match. Because when these two were in the ring with each other, and they were squaring off, and you had the sort of back and forth between them and the exchanging of moves and everything like that, and there was real intensity and heat and everything like that.
For sure.
It would get to a point, and then the Young Bucks would have to come back into the ring.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
I just feel like it was a bit like getting cold water thrown on you.
I think that's fair, because when you look at the attention of the match, it did flow really well between the Acclaimed and FTR. And what was he? Yeah, very good flow. Match. Yeah, and I can see that becoming a singles tag match at some point for the titles.
Well,
the only thing that's going to stop
versus Red Dragon.
Yeah, that was insane.
I'm going to be proper indie. FTR versus Red Dragon back on NXT. I think it was in the build-up to the Survivor Series with NXT in it.
Yep.
So when the Revival fought Red Dragon, and it was just on NXT, and it was like 15-20 minutes, and it was incredible. This, I think, with 20 minutes would get there.
I absolutely agree. And I think they've now got an extra opportunity to get the best out of FTR because of what happened post-match. Now, I saw the same tag team the night before at Rev Pro, and they lost. And it was one of the best matches of the night. Grizzled Young Veterans lost the Rev Pro World Tag Titles in the third best match of the night on Rev Pro, I might add. The third best match of the night. They lost the Sunshine Machine. Excellent match. They've now made their second debut in AEW. It looks like it's going to be there long term by the looks of it. For me, after losing the Lucha Bros and failing to get machine guns, this is a very smart move for them. And I like the fact that even though it's at Wembley, they are from the UK. I like the fact that they went, we don't care, we're staying heel, and they went for FTR. Yep. I loved that. That moment was incredible. What did you make of the post-match?
It could be a very good match, and it's very exciting. And once again, what it got me thinking was, why are the Bucks here? It's so weird. It's weird to look at AEW. I mean, I've always looked at AEW and said that I don't like the Bucks, but now I genuinely look at AEW and go, we don't need the Bucks. They don't do anything. They're not adding anything. They're not dream match territory anymore.
They could go back to New Japan and re-establish themselves, I think, in a different way, but that would be that.
I don't actually think it's unfair to say that they are not dream match territory anymore.
Because it's the same. I mean, I don't necessarily hate them, but I don't necessarily love them either. But I get your point. For me,
they've been doing the same thing for a long time, but this is now a different same thing.
For me, if you really want a dream, like for me, in all honesty, if you want a dream match right now from a tag team, for me, I still stand by it. The dream match you want is the Machine Guns. They're the tag team that you want, because you get. They obviously will include some things that are similar in a match. They will obviously include the figure splash. They will include the sliced bread and all that. But it's not always the same. They will always mix up. They will always make it different.
Probably still say FTR, but
I think FTR is a valid shout as well.
I just want them to do something, and hopefully with
I think GYV is it. Grizzled Young Veterans, yeah.
No, but GYT they are now, I think.
No, GYV.
Oh, but they're Top Sig Grit Your Teeth, so I thought that was their name now.
Oh, they still have that quote, grit your teeth, but they go by Grizzled Young Veterans.
Actually Grizzled Young Veterans still.
Yeah, still going by that, yeah.
Cool. Right, so I was almost right here.
This was my favourite match of the night.
I was so nearly right. I was so certain that
I called one thing up. Yes. Can I might add, you got that bit right, but I also called something that happened bang on. Because I said to you comfortably that Hangman Page would go for the win, he would hit the buckshot, he would get the 2 count, and then out comes Jeff Jarrett, and he would completely derail him. I'm taking my high water on that. I'm taking that.
Yeah, fair enough.
But this match was special for so many reasons. One, I got my Okada moment live. That, because obviously he wasn't advertising the card, that did piss me off. That he wasn't advertised. I was like, please be on this card. He was there. Phenomenal in the match. I was like, okay, he might actually win this. This is quite scary. He might win this. And then 5 minutes later, out comes the best British wrestler that I've ever seen. Out comes Nigel McGuinness. And I'm like, okay then, now we've got something special here. And that was, and this is truth from inside the stadium, that was probably I'd say the second or third loudest pop of the entire show.
I see. Right.
It was that fucking loud.
Yeah, well, I'm doing my best to keep my hands in my pockets here. Because
I know why. I know.
Again, he wasn't. They open the match with this clown who's still doing his clown thing, and listen, it's not exactly comedy if I can see the joke coming a mile away.
Yeah, which is fair.
Because Okada was like, come on, and what was it? Give me a hug or shake
Yeah,
my hand.
Okada.
One or
Yeah,
the
Okada
other.
was with. Okada went like, let's shake and then thing. Yeah, he wanted to embrace him because Okada does take the piss with that.
Well,
And I quite like
was
that.
like, I'm gonna shake it. No, I'm not. My hand's going in my pocket. Like,
yeah, that part bugged me. But I like that he got just as. I'm glad that he got
absolute waste.
He got what he deserved at least during the match, and we got a lot of good surprises. Like, hold on 1 second. Fair comment from. To be fair, Billy, I don't disagree with that. I like FTR. I don't disagree with that at all. I think that's fair. I think that's a fair comment. Nigel coming out for the match really stuck. No, it had everyone around me literally jaw dropped. Like we were all like, "What the fuck?"
It's very cool, and you know
that was not all.
Will he finally get his dream match? I think
I think he will. I think he will. In a very certain
played better to the stadium because that's what it was designed to do. Watching at home, all I saw was wasted opportunity slipping through the fingers. I mean, so Orange Cassidy, you're not going to be able to do anything with him. You're going to try. You're going to try, but he has a ceiling. I think you've pushed him already way beyond his ceiling. I would actually hire him for my wrestling company to start with. Okada is such a waste at this point.
His reaction was incredible. Inside the stadium, it was an incredible reaction. I'll give him a chance now, to be honest. I'll give him a fair chance.
Okada's such a waste. You get this guy... Right. I'm sorry to say it this way, but Okada should probably have been in Swerve's spot on this card.
Yeah.
No, I get it. It's not Swerve's fault for getting over. But the fact that the best you can do, you know, especially because remember, we rag on WWE because they don't do enough with Nakamura. We rag on WWE because they don't do enough.
I'm not going to. No, of course. Yeah, absolutely. No, so absolutely.
Let's rag on AEW here.
Yeah,
because you
of course.
Get Okada, who probably would have went to WWE and he'd be upper mid card at least. At least. Because he'd probably be a reason for Triple H to put Nakamura into a tag team. And then that tag team would be upper mid card. Probably. When we think about how he books, probably. And instead, they have him coming out number 2 in a gauntlet match that he doesn't win. Because if he won, it's like, all right, this is going somewhere. Especially because it's for a world title match.
When it came out, I thought, we've got the winner right here already. I was like, there's nobody, and this is not me disparaging anyone in the match. Like, we knew that Hangman was in the match already, and we thought he was going to win it based on the fact that we thought Swerve would have retained the title. We'll come to that later on. But we see, at least that's a continuity. At least we're getting a continuity in their story in a different way.
Yeah.
But when Okada came out second, I'm like, okay, my favorite wrestler, like literally my favorite wrestler in the world is coming out second. Interesting. I would have had him come out last and just brutalize everybody already in the match anyway. A fresh man against everyone, he'll just kill them all.
The other thing that, of course, was weird, and I'll cover it quickly. I didn't like the finish. I didn't like the finish at all. I don't know why Luchasaurus was going to attack Christian and then changed his mind. If they're doing a thing, by the way, where Luchasaurus and Killswitch exist in the same brain.
Ooh. I thought he was okay, to be fair, Billy. I actually thought he was okay.
It can disappear forever. If this whole thing is Luchasaurus is inside of Killswitch, like, you know, a passenger in his own mind style.
Yeah.
Go away. Genuinely go away. I don't know why it looked like he was going to attack Christian and then he just changed his mind. It didn't make sense. It would have played out a lot better if he'd literally just come in and won the match for Christian.
Or won it for himself and then went, fuck you, Christian, I'm done. I wonder if they're
this
gonna
doesn't
get to
further any story. This is just the exact same thing that you did with the contract from the ladder match.
Yeah, I'm hoping that by assuming we know, obviously, Darby Allin's got the world title match at Wrestle Dream. We know that. We know Jack Perry is getting the world title match at All Out, which, to be fair, might actually be okay. And I've realised I've said that, but I actually think it might be okay. But I think...
I'll give it Seth Rollins' laughter, shall I?
I think, though, the good thing about Christian's title match is it can be at any time he wants, right? Ironically.
Yeah.
I think that Darby Allin will win the world title at Wrestle Dream.
Right.
Even though I do like the winner of the main event. I think Darby Allin will win the world title, and then because he absolutely hates him, I think Christian will cash in that opportunity immediately on Darby, and he'll walk out of Wrestle Dream as AEW World Champion. And then I think
because isn't All Out
Wrestle Dream is after All Out, which is next month, yeah. And All Out is All Out's next
past the Jack Perry match.
Yeah, All Out's next weekend.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They do it a week after.
Yeah, so I think that. I also think, crazily enough, I think Killswitch or Luchasaurus, whatever the fuck he wants to call himself, I think he will turn on Christian Cage, but I think he'll do that after Copeland versus Christian Cage for the world title, and I think that will be at Full Gear. I think Copeland will be the world title challenger for Christian Cage at Full Gear, and I think the winner of that, whoever that may be, will then wrestle Swerve at the end of the year, and I think Swerve will end 2024 again as world champion.
Right.
That's just me fantasy booking, but that's what I think will happen. See, there you go.
Well,
See?
you've got James agreeing with you. Let's see if anyone agrees with me on match numero 9.
Yep. This is actually the one that I was referring to, where I had just one weird... Well, actually, there's another one. But there's one annoying problem that this match had.
Okay. I'm going to let you lead, because I have no clue what you're talking about.
This match had the perfect opening entrance for the challenger, but it missed a trick on the challenge. The entrance for the champion.
Mm-hmm.
He done it at Rev Pro. I don't know why he didn't do it at Wembley Stadium. MJF, with all the Americanisms, should have came out walking to the ring with the American national anthem. You would have pissed the people off.
Well, you
had the perfect opportunity right there.
Darby will end up in a feud with Moxley.
Yeah, he did call. I was going to say Moxley did return to Dynamite. He's united with Marina Shafir or whatever her name is, which is an interesting one. But yeah, he has called out Darby. I'm not entirely sure why though. He says it's not your.
So they can do fucking dungeon porn together. They're both just fucking weird, and they just want to tie each other up and put each other into bags and see how many fingers they can remove from the other before they cry. I don't know. They want to drink each other's blood. They want to.
Oh, please! Can we not?
Grafts. I don't
please,
know what.
No! Stop! We don't want to talk about WWE ECW's version of Kevin. We don't want to talk about Kevin Thorne. Please don't do that to me.
Well, maybe, but anyway, we're going to get on to this match. I think they missed a trick with MJF's entrance as well. Because why the fuck did he enter to his own song to allow the crowd to cheer it and sing it?
To be fair, UK crowd.
What an amazing heel. He is fantastic as a heel because the whole crowd sang his fucking song. Almost as loud as they did Will Ospreay's. Louder than they did 90% of the card. Another thing I said a few weeks ago about how MJF's a shit heel. There you go.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't work. With this audience, This audience are too on board with him. They've drank too much of his Kool-Aid, and they're loving him. And he's not a heel the same way Drew McIntyre's a heel. He's
Or
not
Swerve.
a heel the same way Dominic Mysterio's a heel. He's not a heel the same way Swerve Strickland's a heel, where he'll genuinely get booed. And I agree, Billy. MJF's better as a heel, so
But he needs to be a heel.
Yeah, that means he must be a shockingly bad babyface.
I'm just glad at least, in contrast to your point, and I do agree that the singing part pissed me off. And I was sitting there literally sitting beside guys who are actually, one of the guys who sat beside me, fun enough, subscribed to the channel, is actually a guy who works for ICW. So that was a shock. But even he's like, these like the fans here are fucking stupid. Like, can they stop singing? I was like, I wish we had a fucking microphone because I'd tell them all to shut the fuck up. But at least, and this is the shining grace, at least in the actual match, at least they actually wrestled as a heel. That was the only saving grace.
When the bell went, MJF was heel. And he did everything that you would want a heel to do. And the problem is, if you're only going to do it when the bell rings, and then after the bell you're suddenly going to be like really, really popular,
then you should just be a tweener like Finn Balor.
It's a problem when you're trying to be this ultimate dickhead heel, because
it was a great match. I agree, Nathan.
It's like if Dominic Mysterio got cheered until he wrestled and then got booed, but Dominic Mysterio just gets booed all the time. Drew McIntyre just gets booed all the time, because the best heel is just the bad guy all the time. MJF's trying to do too much of this cute, funny stuff that gets people to like him, and then they sing his song and they chant with him, and you get the crowd yelling, and I'm better than you, and you know it. They join with him because he's essentially John Cena.
I do at least like the fact in a way.
List of stuff when it comes to his character that he rattles off, and the crowd love it.
Yeah, I think what's interesting as well, and is another thing, is he did try to get away with it on, not away with it, away with it. He tried to get away from it on Dynamite when he, of all things, he denounced his American citizenship, which I thought was funny. But he's at least trying to get the sense of, well, stuff the fans, they weren't there for them anymore, so why should he care? You know, first of all, you should have done that the minute you pile drove Garcia from the top rope. You should have just went fuck the lot of yous at that point. You should have just announced his American citizenship right at that point there, and just done the American thing as a troll in spite of the American fans, and do it here because he just thinks belittle of the UK, which is completely understandable.
Yeah, or just don't make it about the countries in the first place.
Yeah,
if people are really, really, really passionate about flags.
Yeah, that was one big ass flag. That was one big ass flag. There was one thing about this match though that now Nathan said it was a great match. Yeah, I actually think now
I've never seen these two. Yeah, no, fair.
Yeah, I'm gonna say something, and I want to get your opinion on it, but I want to get everyone else's opinion in the chat. So this might come across bizarre. I've seen Ospreay wrestle Kenny Omega 3 times. I've seen him wrestle Okada. I've seen him wrestle Gunther. And they were all excellent matches in the way they were supposed to be. But considering the fact that he's working for a North American organization, this was by far Will Ospreay's best story-based working match he's ever done. The other matches are great to enjoy if you just want to enjoy a wrestler in the ring doing the work. But in terms of an actual working match from the style of audience you want to be associated to, or aim to be, considering the fact that that's what MJF aspires to be, that is the best that he's ever actually going to produce. And I also like the fact
he's worked as a character, and
he sold really well.
But the other thing is, he wasn't ridiculously conflicted. The thing that is taking me out of Will Ospreay matches is this whole, do I do it, bruv? Do I do it, bruv? Do it or don't? Do you want to win? The ridiculous one was against Swerve. Like, this is a world title match.
Yeah.
Are you gonna, like, if you're not gonna use the Tiger Driver? No, I'm not gonna use the Tiger Driver. Okay, use the screwdriver. I'm not gonna use the screwdriver.
Yeah.
Lose then.
It got so loud in the crowd when the crowd were literally chanting "Do it" regarding the Tiger Driver, and I'm like,
but Bryan Danielson already told him to do it.
Exactly. He literally got in his face and said, "Fucking do it." He should have. And I'll say this: credit to MJF for taking it. Credit, because we know it is a vicious move.
Comfortable.
It's a vicious move, and there's no way. It's so hard to defend yourself. But credit to the two of them for both doing it, taking it, and also no genuinely serious injury. I'm glad it wasn't the most dangerous move performed on the entire card.
No.
It was the second, but it's the most dangerous coming down from a front position. I really enjoyed this. I'm glad. The only thing is, and I've said it for the near 26 minutes it had an overshadowing factor, and there was the match that followed this, because the match that followed this wasn't bad by one person's perspective. The other was just happy to be there at Wembley, but the crowd tried to at least get some volume, but the problem is the crowd were so enveloped and involved in the match before it. This one was just, okay, it's two supposed world-class talents, but one of them is actually being overshadowed by the woman that's actually accompanying her, because the real talent for me in this entire match was Camille. And I've said it before, Camille is literally one of the best women's wrestlers in the world. And
this match,
Britt Baker really is a fucking clown. She's a fucking clown.
Mercedes versus Britt match was just...
We knew it was coming.
Why neither of these women... this is when I said on the preview, is this really...
I agree with that. I agree with this. It was the worst match on the card.
All we've got. I think this was the worst match, and the other women's match probably the second worst, to be fair. I just thought they were terrible. And you know me, I really like women's wrestling. I think it's great.
Same.
I thought Rhea versus Liv at SummerSlam was certainly top 3 on the card.
I thought, even though it was on
second, I thought it was really good.
Even though it was on Collision, I thought Perazzo versus Thunder Rosa in the Texas Death match on Collision a couple of weeks ago was a whole lot better than the two women's cards on this show.
There's some really good women's matches, but these two sucked. And you bring this woman in, you bring Mercedes Moné in, you give her the title, not your world title. Once again, made that point on the preview.
You did. You did. Yep.
Because you don't trust her to carry your women's division. You've got her as like a shiny bit of jewelry just to show off. And you put her up against your pillar and they produced nothing.
And also, may I add, they were both overshadowed by a woman who, ironically, we mentioned on the preview, who hadn't been there in well over 466 days. Jamie Hayter, who had the second loudest pop of the bloody card.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Nathan, don't even get me started on that fucking it. Jesus, wet. I knew it was her anyway. The minute I seen that card, it's going to be for her, just that pure entitlement.
Yeah, but here's the other thing, though. For as far as Mercedes Moné goes, she can do better. Remember,
she can.
This is Mercedes. Okay, fuck it.
Look at it. Mercedes Moné, Sasha Banks, whatever. We've seen her carry
Sasha
division.
Banks on standby. This is Sasha Banks. If she was a car, the engine's off and she's just coasting down the hill. Sasha Banks can have excellent wrestling matches, or at least she was capable of it before, because we saw a handful of them in WWE, including one that they still celebrate as possibly the best women's match they've had.
Can we and also, to be fair as well, she had an amazing triple threat with Mina Shirakawa and Mayu Watanabe in New Japan as well. When she won, after she won the title from Kairi Sane, which is one of the best singles matches I've ever watched for any woman. It was great between the two. She's now got Mayu Watanabe again, a singles match for the New Japan Strong main event show, like the Capital Capital Carnage. She's the main event with Mayu. That's going to be incredible. But I agree. However, I'm not going to make an excuse for this. Regardless if she had to slow down or not, the thing that pissed me off is, one, Mercedes did slow down, but even so, she shouldn't. Similar to what Jordan Grace did the Royal Rumble back in January. She how fast she was working, she eclipsed every single woman in that card except Rhea Ripley, who is just genuinely great. You shouldn't be slowing down for somebody like Britt Baker because they're sandbagging. If anything, you should continue working quickly to fucking expose her for how pathetic she is. She should have kept going.
Yeah,
she shouldn't have let her own self be dragged down because of Britt Baker, who is pathetic. And I disagree on that. I disagree. I don't think she is. I think that's harsh.
No, Billy, I'm with you in terms of the ranking. Second worst of the four horsewomen is absolutely right for Sasha. Bayley's the only one that's worse than her, and I think honestly, you could probably have to go program by program for whether Charlotte or Becky's been better. Probably in ring you would say Charlotte, and in terms of character you'd probably say Becky. So you'd have to go really based on the feuds that they've had. Obviously, Becky did better with Bianca, but Charlotte did better with Ronda, but Becky did better with... they both did pretty well with Asuka. So it's probably like quite cut and dry between those two.
To be fair, Asuka carried all of them. This match should have been earlier in the show, but the fact they're two big name compares why they were near the end. Yep, spot on.
Yeah,
Catherine.
definitely.
Even though Catherine's like in her.
She's really. And the thing is, like, she's a elite narcissist. She's come so far from being like really likable at the start to just being a twat. Bayley's not worse than Mercedes. Wow. I
controversially find Bayley's the best out of the four. But I think she's a bit. But there's different reasons for that. I think if you had to rank them now, I think I'm not even going to bother. I don't care for either or. I go
based off memories made. I go based on one with Bayley.
I was doing based on 2021, concerning what I saw with Bayley. That's why I said she was better of the four. But I think when you look at what
match from, or if you're going to say Brooklyn, okay,
that's a Sasha Caddy and Bayley to win.
Exactly. You know, like you can't really say Brooklyn. You can't say title reigns. You can't say Money in the Bank cash in.
Fair comments, Nathan.
You can't say as a face, and you can't say as a heel. She's not the best at any of those things.
Yeah. Fair comments from Nathan. Thank you for joining me. I know you've got to run, so thank you. We really do appreciate it.
Charlotte, Bayley, Mercedes, Becky. I'd swap Bayley and Becky, and it would be a toss-up between Charlotte and Becky.
Can I just kick Charlotte out? And I don't care for Becky anyway. Because I can't stand Charlotte anyway.
Charlotte's really good, and when she returns, if she's ready for the Rumble, you brace yourself.
We know what Charlotte's going to do. It'll be win a world title match, hold it for 5 months. She'll probably get Andrade left, right, and center in Mexico, and then after that, she'll get injured. Coincidentally, and then she'll be gone for another half a year, come back, think she's great when she's not, and then that'll be the end of it. Charlotte Flair's a one-trick pony.
It's either great when they're not. Well, isn't that just a delightful way to lead into the final match before the main event? Jack Perry's shit, isn't he? God, he's awful.
I just love the new title. I just love the new title design. I said what was ironically. I knew what was coming on that match, and I said it.
He fucking sucks. Jack Perry's rubbish, and he's now doing all this. hardcore edgy shit to hide the fact that he was actually moreover with a dinosaur and a dad. Not his real dad, obviously. That's sad. I mean, Christian.
I bet. To be fair, Christian was probably a better dad. He told him
Hey!
shit.
Leave him alone.
Yeah,
I like
Luke Perry was great in 90210 as well. But he was great in Ripro. I'm just saying, like, Christian certainly he was a better dad in that concept because he told him that he was shit and then he beat him up for it.
Yeah, but Jurassic Express were a million times better than what Jack.
They were a good team. They were actually a decent team.
Jack Perry, look at me. I've got a bag of glass. By the way, there's your glass spot. It wasn't a mystery. I don't even want.
But we said we knew it was coming. We knew it was coming.
Glass was going to be involved. You know what reaction the glass got? You want to know how well this has worked? CM Punk.
But it was more. It was actually more than just that. It was.
Is gonna have his career carried by the fact that an over 40-year-old Phil fucking Brooks was gonna knock his arse out at Wembley.
I'll say this though.
He will genuinely. It's like Santino Marella getting a job because he got slapped by Cornette. It's the same level. This guy's career is going to be carried by the fact that CM Punk was going to kick his arse.
To be fair, Santino can wrestle. They fucking ruined him by making him so comedic. I hate that shit. I'll say this as he could actually work. No, he could work. They just wouldn't let him do it. I'll say this though. It wasn't just CM Punk chants. Now, what you heard was CM Punk. What I heard as a chorus, and this is truth, was fuck CM Punk chants. The whole way through, it was fuck CM Punk chants.
Why do you want those though?
I don't
every
know.
Time this dickhead's on the screen, does he want to hark back to a guy? I mean, you know why? It's because CM Punk's a million times a star. It's because CM Punk's in the hottest wrestling feud in the world right now.
I genuinely thought it was funny. You know what's funny? It's, even though I was annoyed that it was coming, I thought the whole glass scene was funny. And I burst out laughing. I was like, this was coming. But the good thing about it is I tweeted saying, even though it's a 10-minute match, I said this was 15 minutes wasted. But what I got after that was 5 minutes of pure bliss.
But now there's another thing to talk about, though.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So you know that thing I just said about Darby Allin and John Moxley and dungeon porn?
Yeah.
It's not coming out of just, weird shit in my brain. Why in every match does Darby Allin like being tied up or put in a bag, or he likes being restrained in some way?
I'm starting to hope that Gigi Dolan did not watch this match.
Well, what? Right.
I'm hoping she didn't anyway.
We're going back here, people. We're going back. When he feuded with Brian Cage tied him up and put him in a body bag. Threw the body bag over the ropes. That's what led to
He didn't just throw him. He didn't just throw him. He fucking launched him.
Yeah, but that's the thing. That's basically where we're going with it. Yeah.
That's why I brought up Gigi Dolan, because that's how their relationship went very toxic.
Yeah. So in the warehouse match, that's where that came from. But look at the other matches this goon has had, where either he's gonna have his hands taped together, or his feet are tied, and he's gonna be put in the bag. It's like it kind of ruined. At this point, we're just watching a kink in public. This is weird. Stop.
It really annoyed me because, see, prior to this, they were actually working well with each other. Like, they actually were working well to what they were asked to do. What annoyed me as well, especially, was you didn't even need the running knee as well. Like, you've already removed Jack Perry's finish, because we know he does that running knee as a finish. You've already removed it by having him tie up Darby Allin anyway. Darby Allin should not be sitting up in a coffin without able to use his hands. Like, you've actually kind of removed Jack Perry in that way, which is kind of a shame. Like, if you want to use him in...
Allin losing again to Jack Perry really just belittles the idea that he could be a world champion.
I'm eager to see what they actually. I don't know what it is about. This is what I don't understand with the comments that Moxley said on Dynamite. This is what I don't understand when he says this company's not yours anymore. But Moxley, to a degree, if that's the case, then you shouldn't be going after. Theoretically, you shouldn't be going after Darby Allin. Then, if this company's not yours anymore, you should be going after the Elite. You should be going after Jack Perry. You should be going after the Bucks. It doesn't make. I don't understand it. We'll probably get some in the next couple of weeks anyway.
It's because Moxley's been inventing some barbed wire handcuffs.
Who knows what he? Who knows? Like we'll find out. We'll certainly find out.
If anyone's got too much time on their hands and wants to count it, I mean, as I say, I've got 4 vivid examples of Darby Allin being like tied up and incapacitated in a match while people do stuff to it. But if you've got any more, let's see how many we can come up with.
To be fair, there was actually see, I don't get. I'll tell you one thing as well. This was actually denied. Darby Allin was supposed to get tied up in the match versus Jeff Hardy before he did the ladder match spot.
Right.
And funnily enough, Jeff actually said no, because he actually said you get one of the other. You're either going to get that dive on me, and I'm going to be there to support you in that way, or you get the tie up and I'll just beat the living piss out of you with a steel chair and I'll do a dive off a ladder and beat you. No, he got the dive instead. We were supposed to get that. He was supposed to get tied up in the match versus Brody King. God rest his soul. Brody Lee, sorry. God rest his soul.
Yeah, I was like,
yeah.
Whoa,
and also, and I mentioned Brody King. He was supposed to get tied up in the Brody King match as well. From I think it was 2022. They had a singles match after he choked him out in the big battle royal.
Freak, like, and in the bad way.
I'm surprised in the nice. Actually, it's not really nice. I'm surprised in the most brutally honest way. I'm surprised that Darby Allin's either not on Pornhub or doesn't have an OnlyFans account, because I genuinely think he is so kinked on that shit. The way he acts. Now, he can clearly wrestle. We've seen it, but he needs to stop with this thing. This is not a sex dungeon, as you said. This is not Natalia Neidhart enjoying herself too much.
But genuinely, if he wants to do that away from the wrestling, just do it.
Yeah, like nobody needs to see it.
There's, like you can do your job and have kink on the side, but stop making us watch your.
Yeah, I want to watch. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I want to watch wrestling.
I hate it because it's every Derby match, and
yeah, I don't go to. I don't go to.
Like, he's so into it that he doesn't mind losing. Like, now, of course, it's good as a wrestler if you don't mind losing. You're going to lose a lot unless your name's Brock Lesnar.
I was waiting to see how long you would bring that up.
Losing's going to be a thing, but why does he want to actively be tied up in matches over winning them?
Yeah, because in this one, I would really want to win that title because I fucking love the revamped version of TNT title. I like the black with the blood red line. It's beautiful
because Jack Perry made it.
I know, but I just really love it. I really love that design. If it ever comes on sale, I will try and get it.
Bring back Brock, put him on AEW, have Shane McMahon as manager.
Oh, Shane. Just him on his own. Just Brock on his own would be fine. Because to be fair, a lot of people were wondering where.
Shane, like a Pokemon trainer and Machamp. That should be Shane and Brock Lesnar.
I would go a little bit actually. I was about to say Hariyama, but Brock Lesnar's not fat. I was going to say Hariyama, but Brock Lesnar's not fat. Brock Lesnar literally would be... He's either a Machamp to a degree, or...
Who's the MMA one? Mianchao? No, it's too thin.
That's 4 legs. He is literally Hitmon. He is Hitmonchan and Hitmonlee mixed together. And it just Hitmon Lesnar.
What Pokemon do we think Brock Lesnar is? I guess Hitmonchan's really good.
What if he is a fur alligator in disguise? He's definitely not a Blaziken. He's not an Infernape, although to be fair, he does fight like an ape.
What do you think of Barbarical?
Good shout. Good shout. Or maybe ties into the fact that he did do amateur wrestling in a sense. What if Brock Lesnar's a furl?
Oh, maybe. Yeah, perhaps.
Because he's not because he's not a sock. But I would say he is more of a furl.
There's your comment question of the day. What Pokemon?
Which Pokemon is Brock Lesnar?
We'll move on to the main.
What a fucking match, by the way. I really enjoyed this from start to finish.
It was good enough for me.
It actually just felt like a main event the way it was supposed to, and I just love the fact that Swerve just channeled every bit of energy he could, and either he's going to work a babyface for a few moments, and then he just completely switches it because he's like, I've got the crowd literally in my hands right now, and I'm just going to take the piss out of them. But I just love the ferocity, and I also like the fact that they had even though he didn't get involved physically, I love the fact that Hangman was at ringside because you know that they're getting Hangman versus Swerve All Out. I like the carrying on with that story. That's fine for me. But I like the fact that they didn't clash with each other. But I love the fact that he distracted Swerve enough that you got a really good near fall. Like that near fall on the running knee afterwards. I was like, oh, he's got him. But that wasn't when I knew the match was won for Danielson.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I knew Danielson was winning the minute Swerve lamped the piss out of him in front of his kid. I was like, yep, that's it. This is where I know he's losing now. That was it. But even afterwards, like the celebration with the crowd after the match, for the night, I just loved the way this match worked. And credit to them both for working together. They've got such very good chemistry. You can shove your cheap viewers up your arse. I'm not interested. This isn't my kind of style.
We've got one of these.
Yeah. I honestly just like the way this match worked. It was a good main event. It's the best AEW World Title main event they've done in a long time. I like the fact that Swerve got the T'Challa entrance. I like it when he channels the inner Black Panther. I've always thought it was cool. And I just love the fact that the final countdown blared around Wembley. That was incredible.
Time for me to bring you down.
You can, but I absolutely enjoyed it.
Yeah, I thought this match was good enough. I think the wrong person won.
We did both have Swerve to win, to be fair.
I think the wrong person won this match.
That is also a fact.
I
agree on that.
Look, I go back to Trick Williams winning the Iron Survivor, and everyone else had 2 falls and he didn't have any, and he picked up 3 falls in the last 90 seconds. I fucking hated it.
Yeah, it was quite a rush.
Wrestling isn't Disney. We're not supposed to go from nothing to everything that quickly.
And also, when you said wrestling isn't Disney, I also want to say wrestling is not cinema either. I
get it. Here's the problem though, right? You're going to do that cool as the knee thing, where Bryan threw the knee at him, like hit him with the knee. Swerve's in the corner. You think he's stunned, and he just
became like that.
Swerve should have picked him up, dropped him on his fucking head, hit him with a house call or whatever 3 times.
House call, yeah.
That should have been it. It should have ended like that. That should have been the end of his career. You know why? Because see, when you're old and tired in this business, and you go against a younger guy like that, and the story that they were trying to tell this entire time, Danielson shouldn't have won this belt. This should have been it. Swerve should have won, A win here would have made Swerve Strickland. 100%. And you could be like, well, he's already made. He beat Will Ospreay. No, Will Ospreay beat himself. He's already made. He beat Samoa Joe. No one cares about Samoa Joe anymore. He's already made. He beat Hangman Page 3 times. No one gives a shit about Hangman Page. If he'd retired Bryan Danielson, that would have made him. And Danielson doesn't need this fucking belt. He doesn't. I get it's a lovely moment, okay? But the lovely moment would have equally been lovely if he'd lost. And then there was a nice little retirement, like, you know, okay, it would have felt a bit like the bit in The Simpsons where Bart's got the cake that says you tried, but at the same time,
no,
there could have been a nice promo. The family could have gotten the ring. They could have consolidated. Swerve giving them the middle finger on the ramp. You know, have a villain for fuck's sake. I get this show was so feel good. I think
the only thing is though, for me, and this is just I see where you're coming from. I thought Swerve was going to win for the exact same reason, because it would have been nice to have seen that, because he is a genuine star. Yeah. He is. Like, Swerve is a star, and anyone who thinks he's not, and anyone who thinks that Swerve Strickland is not a star, you are a fucking idiot. Like, you are. He is.
Star. I think he is capable. Let's word it this way. I think he's a star as far as what he does and what he can control. But I don't think he's popular enough to be a star. He's not got enough. And imagine, because it would have broke the mainstream, because people remember Daniel Bryan. This guy, bear in mind, we're talking like the casual of the casual, right? The people who literally, it's WWE and that's it. Mm-hmm. This guy just retired Daniel Bryan. All of a sudden, everyone's head, who the hell is that? Because people really like Daniel Bryan, and there had to be a villain on this show that wasn't fucking Young Bucks or Jack Perry or Christian, because Christian still gets cheered in that ironic way. There's not an out-and-out villain in AEW, and I feel like this was the problem, because this was like they booked Endgame before they had Infinity War. They did the happy endings now. There was no jeopardy. There was no There was no loss, no casualty, no nothing. It was good times, good vibes. And that's fine. But remember, when they came over for Clash, WWE did, the villain won. And it made it all the sweeter when he
think though,
there was no final here. This was Danielson's first crack at Swerve, and he did it. So,
this is what I'm thinking. This is just my opinion. This is just my opinion on this.
Yeah, go for it.
I think Danielson winning here has a bigger justice to come. And what I mean by that is, you can retire him at All In, or you hurt him where you get him where it really hurts. The one place Bryan Danielson would never ever want to retire in, from a ring perspective, he's already done it. He would hate to be retired in his own state. I think you're gonna get that at Wrestle Dream. I think you're gonna get it. And the worst thing for him though, this is the thing. Now, I said that Darby Allin's got the world title match at All In. I don't think I don't think Bryan Danielson would have an absolute problem putting over Darby Allin in that sense. I think what would hurt him more is if he got humiliated in his own state.
Can't put him over if you tie him up.
True. That's why I think you're going to get a lot more than that. Not the tying up part, I hope I don't get that. But what I mean is, what you're actually going to get where it hurts, because the one thing he would hate to do is to see someone he loves walk out world champ. And I think that will hurt him more. The bigger injustice for Danielson is being retired in the same state where literally Christian Cage can walk out and say, by the way, your dad's dead and I've just taken your title. And he can. Like, he can interject himself in that match and make a triple threat and pin Danielson.
I mean,
Christian...
for God's sake. Does Christian Cage need the rub of retiring Bryan Danielson?
No, he's already one of the greatest. He doesn't need it.
Does Jack Perry? No, because he's rubbish. Does Darby Allin? No, because he's got ceiling.
It would do him a lot though, but I don't think he's one. For me, I think Swerve is the one.
Right. Remember,
that is ironic.
Yeah, well, remember that essentially, if we go to like people who are of similar stature, Rey Mysterio effectively retired JBL.
Yes, he did.
Rey Mysterio
twice
is 3 million times the star Darby Allin is, because Rey Mysterio was consistently backed and booked, and the fans liked him. All that Darby has is the fans, and even then, they don't really care that much. You don't see, Rey Mysterio's got all the, the young kids in the front row with the masks. He still does, because he's timeless. Not like Toni Storm timeless. He's timeless. He's my favorite wrestler of all time. He is brilliant. He is timeless. It's going to be so sad when he retires. But it shouldn't fucking be like John Cena or Randy Orton who does it. It should be Dominic. Or it should be Theory. It should be Braun Breaker. It should hurt. That's getting the leg up and gets to say, I retired Rey Mysterio. Swerve should get to say that he retired Bryan Danielson. He's not going to. Jack Perry won't do enough with it because he's too shit. Christian Cage
what if it is still Swerve though? What if it is still Swerve?
If it's still Swerve, fair.
He takes his title back. Because there's still a chance as well that Danielson could retain this title. And actually,
Corbin retiring, Kurt.
To be fair, I was going to bring that up, but to be fair, me and Kurt are on a good friendship, so I don't want to bring that up. But me and Kurt are on good.
What year was that in?
That was That was ironically the worst WrestleMania I've ever watched. I'm pretty sure it was WrestleMania 35.
Was it 35?
Because 34 he wrestled Ronda Rousey. You say wrestled with Ronda Rousey, yeah.
Yeah,
so he wrestled.
It wasn't in the pandemic, so it was 35. So
and that was a horrible show.
But it could have been like
that could have been Cena versus Angle.
No, but who was in NXT at the time?
Finn Balor went back there. You had Adam Cole. You had
I mean like
Karrion Kross.
Like
young.
Young are coming through.
Braun Breaker was there at that time, I'm pretty sure. To be fair, Tommaso Ciampa had just returned from injury.
Yeah, it's a little early for. I'm trying to think, because I guess Gargano could have done it, but
you wouldn't have believed anyway, because Gargano.
You probably said Theory. To be fair, you look at
that was
NXT.
That was the way Theory, and to be fair, he was not. Is Adam Cole ever going to be back? Yeah, but he will be, but not the way that you want him to be. Adam Cole had the chance. There we go. 2019 roster. I'm going to check just now. Let's see who NXT had. It was literally 6 years ago. Yes. Adam Cole, Jordan Miles, Aaliyah, Angelo Dawkins, Bianca Belair, Bobby Fish.
Nah.
To be fair, Bobby Fish would have made a lot more sense if you think about it. Candice LeRae. No, she's a woman, so you're not having that. Come on, for fuck's sake. I don't want to look at the EC3 was actually on that roster as well. Funnily enough.
Nope, not him. Just trying to fix my hair. There we go. I think. Come on.
He was on there as well.
I want to say, but he's not. Bend.
He was in that roster at the time as well. Damian Priest was on NXT at the time as well.
See, so that would have worked. The name I want to say, and he was probably gone by this point. Probably
Danny Burch was a. Yeah. he was busy touching people up the months. Dominic Jakovic was there. Fabian Eichner was there as well. Actually, I forgot about him.
We don't know what he did, remember, and he is back. He's back in wrestling.
Annoyingly so, yeah. Jackson Riker. That would have been a funny one, to be fair. A TNA throwback.
Oh.
Jessamine Duke. I forgot she exists. I'm here.
Raw Underground, remember?
It's because I'm insulting all these talentless hacks. That's, to be fair. I'm being my internet's being attacked for it.
Yeah.
I'm just having a look through more of these names. I just want to see if there's anyone that stands out. I don't know. There isn't anyone here that realistically stands out. Johnny Gargano. Yeah, Keith Lee, Kushida. LA Knight versus Vinci. I've got Cassius Ono would have been fun.
So basically, like you get the point, though. Like, it doesn't have to be a made star that does it. I feel like Christian.
Oh, I know who I would see before it happened. Who I would have gave that to. I would have given it to Matt Riddle.
All right, yeah, fair enough. Well, anyway, I have stayed.
But yeah, I'll let you
stayed my welcome. But one,
I won. I said to you that I'd lose this fight. I said I'd lose this fight to your fiance, but I've actually won the battle, so I'll take that one time only.
Back at the time, but it's been a lot of fun.
You're dead. You're dead.
I'm doing this thing. I'm now on YouTube. I was already on TikTok. You can find me at that name. I hope that's showing up the same way as on my screen. Anyway, you can find me at Princess Ailes. I do TikTok if you care about makeup and that. I'm not very good at it. I just kind of do my own. And then if you're interested in the gaming stuff, we had an episode of FC24 go up 2 days ago. And then we had an episode of Pokemon Emerald today. Within Pokemon Emerald, I think that's going to be the thing that we start with, and we'll get through that. FC24 was more just me like finding out how editing and that works. It's a really funny video, though. I know that like I'm biased because I made it, but I've got his approval as well.
No, it is actually funny.
So
it's funny. I actually enjoyed it.
And, see if that's your sort of thing. If FC is your thing, then you might enjoy it. But yeah, you can now find me doing this stuff, and I've sorted my schedule. I'm no longer 7 days a week. I've done a Will Ospreay. I'm not all about the grind anymore. So I'm down to a reduced schedule. Still doing pretty much the same amount. It's just condensed, which is good. But yeah, so I've got more free time. I'm going to be doing some uploads, possibly streaming. I'm still trying to work that out. I've found the way to get the VODs to work now, but they still won't behave. My mic kept echoing earlier, so I've just unplugged it and I'm using the thing from the laptop. So hopefully audio quality's been okay. It should be. Laptop's brand new after all.
It's been good.
But yeah, no, go and check me out. I will be making content as consistently as I can, which means
I'm about to.
A lot of it.
Well, I'm about to do the exact same thing. So you've just done a Brown announcement. I'm about to do 3 announcements.
Right. Do I have to be around for any of them? Because I'm going to be in trouble.
You can be around. You can be around for one of them if you want.
Start with that. And
so one of them is I'm going to be doing content every single day now on the Steelchair. Every single day there'll be content. The second announcement is I'm going to be starting a wrestling blog or website for the channel as well, because I want to put up some written pieces from like shows I've been to or even from events, like putting some information on that. And the third one, the Steelchair, is definitely going to get its own TikTok, potentially its own Twitter, except fuck Elon Musk. And I'll be bringing more content to this.
I need you to find something real quick. Actually, I know once again I'm my own worst enemy.
Deal. Oh, and
right.
also for any Man United fans, the Agarty deal will be announced at 9:30. That has been confirmed. 9:30 is the announcement for Agarty.
Nice. Oh, come on. Right. I used to do a wrestling vlog.
I am looking to do one. I want to do some written stuff as well, so I'm
all
in the mark for it.
But I can't find it now. Oh, my word. What would it be? 3 count dot.
Whenever he bolts Billy.
No, I can't find it. If I
no idea about Sancho.
But anyway,
if you find it, let me know.
That's some exciting stuff, and I mean, you
I
got
did
one
promise.
more.
I've been doing it all. I've been doing it all day. To be fair, I've been announcing like content. I've been doing short stuff. There's some shorts for the advertised SmackDown card for Bash at the Berlin Go Home show. TNA Emergence ones tonight as well. So I'm going to be doing a review of that tomorrow. We're going to preview Bash at the Berlin, hopefully tomorrow as well. We're going to review it. We're going to do all sorts of shit.
That obviously it's the last day of the cricket season, so you might be on your own for that one. But I promise.
Potentially, but you'll get the review though, which is good.
Yeah, should be able to do it.
You're going to get all that.
But that's all.
And
good.
Also, last thing, and then you can actually screen record this and send this to your partner at my verbal apology. Last thing, the Weekly Steelchair and Eilidh's channel, Princess, will collaborate as well on gaming content starting September 15th. There you go. We will be collaborating on that, and we're going to do mixture.
There's a date coming up.
We're going to do gaming content.
Basically, I'll have nothing better to do, so we may as well try some gaming stuff and join it, and hopefully, I'll have a nice little.
And we're going to just
following by that point. But if not, then,
exactly, we will be gaming. We'll be collaborating, and also we're going to be bringing out the What If series starting after these review shows. So next weekend, I promise, 100%. Next weekend is the start of the What If series.
On that. Now that I've got Thursdays and Fridays to basically do what I want, we'll be able.
We are going to own it.
Get stuff happening, so that's good as well.
And
I must go now.
You can.
So thanks everyone. Mind check out the channel, and I will catch you all next time.
Absolutely. Post guys as well. I also want to say big thank you to everyone that has watched, subscribed to the channel, gotten engaged with the community post recently. Please continue to do so. I appreciate it. If you want to appear on any shows, please let me know, because I would love to get more people involved on any capacity. I'm expanding this channel. As like I said, everything is going day by day. I am not walking away from this. There's not going to be any breaks unless I'm ill or I'm on holiday. This is going to be a daily channel. End of. And we're going full scale content war. I want to get this channel going further than ever before. I enjoy it. I love it. That's the aim, and that's the intent. Because again, this is my baby, and I want to give it life more than what's already got. I love this channel. I love what I do. So we are going to expand this channel. I want to get interviews started as well. I want to do all sorts of things. So that's the aim. But like I said, that is the preview for All In. Thank you all for watching. Tomorrow I'm going to review TNA Emergence. That's on tonight, so I'm going to review that. I'll probably do an hour, and then I'm going to preview, I'm going to take a little break, come back, preview Bash at the Berlin. If you want to join that, let me know. Then on Sunday, we're going to do a gaming stream. I'm not going to review Bash at the Berlin because I want to do it with Eilidh. I think if she's not available to do the preview, then it's only fair she gets a review. So we'll review that when she's able. It's probably going to be Monday. Sunday, however, I will be on the weekly armchair because I'm hosting the review show for Manchester United versus Liverpool. Hopefully we do not get pumped. I hope we actually get something. We'll see. But in the meantime, like, share, subscribe. And in the meantime, guys, thank you all for watching. You guys make this channel fun. You make me enjoy this more than what I already do. But in the meantime, Bye, guys, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye for now.